Okay, welcome to the OB6 tier list, and pretty much I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. This is exclusively for rank and rank conquest only, so nothing else. So first off, we're gonna have Achilles. Obviously, it translates to other modes somewhat, but it's not gonna be perfectly matched. But Achilles is a great pick. I wouldn't really ban him at all. I think he does what he really needs to do. I say he's like a step better than most average guides. He has really good damage output. He can play two roles, so he has the flexibility. He has two builds he can go. He can either go the tank build or the hybrid build or the full damage build. So really three builds he can go. And I think he's fine in all of those. He can even flex into support. I think Achilles support is really underrated right now, just because you get the pressure of the lane. And if you get lane pressure right now, you're hitting 5 a lot earlier. You're getting a purple buff invade most likely because most junglers are starting on the right side of the map. So they're going to be on the right side of the map by the time he comes back up. Overall, I think he's just a really good pick. Agni, I'm gonna say he's average right now. Agni has just always been that average mage. He's always been good, not bad, not too good, except for when they gave him more damage on his one, which was kind of insane. I don't know why they did that, but anyways, Agni's just an average pick, good poke, good range, and fairly safe mage. One of the only mages with actual dash right now. So yep, we're up there. I do think Aladdin is still a great pick. He's definitely not top pick worthy. I think if you're banning him, it doesn't make sense to me. Because not only, if you don't want to play against Aladdin, just play the Willix, I feel like, because that's just a full blown counter to him. He's not as dominant, especially because how scaling has changed. It takes him a lot longer to get to that late game portion where he's really pumping out damage. And even then, there's people that do it comparable to him, like Hercules, Achilles right here. It's just better options right now. Same thing with Amma. Amma's only really, actually no, I'm gonna judge both for her aspects and non-aspect together, because I think in Soul Lane she gets out pressured pretty easily by just about anybody. Bellona, Kabrakan, even Abakis probably could out pressure her in Soul Lane. She's just not really there for the pressure like she used to be. Now, if you're playing her in jungle, I think she's actually fairly decent. She does what you want of a jungler: high damage, high burst, but she's not as crazy as she used to be when they first gave her aspect. On her, once again, he's an average pick. On her right, so recently has just been really average. I don't think he's had a great pick territory. Definitely not a ban territory. He does what you want: escape, leap, CC, and a good ult. So nothing really to complain about. Average ADC. Anubis, I would say, is very situational, really bad, honestly. But I'm not going to put him in don't play unless you're a main. I think he has his roles. I don't think he's a terrible pick, but I don't think he's really what you want to be bringing to the table, especially since anti-heal is very easily bought because you don't even have to get the full item. You can just get one of the tier 2s or tier 1s even. Then secondly, he's immobile mage. That's always been one of his big downsides. And I think right now he doesn't have that burst that you are wanting from a mage to burst down these tanks, burst down these junglers that are diving you. So I think I'm just gonna put him in Z. I want to say Afro is like, I want to say she's here. She hasn't really been performing that well since I've been going against her. But at the same time, it's Afro, and in the right team comps, she's really good. So I'm gonna say she's a great pick. Maybe yeah, I'm gonna say she's a great pick just because right, CC is more prevalent now in the game, so her ult gets more value that way. You can be blown up right now in the game. It's very easily be blown up once you're past the 20-minute mark. And just Afro being able to save one of her carries is insane to stop a dive. So I'm gonna put her in great pick. I think she's a good pick if you want to go her. Ares, I think he's average. He's Ares. He's not that good. I think both aspect and non-aspect versions are about the same level in strength, especially since they buffed his non-aspect version to give him HP 5 or health per second. Now it's not HP 5 anymore. But overall, this pick is really good if you can hit your chains. So if you can hit your chains, I think Ares could even go up to great pick. But for your average person, if you're missing 50% of your chains or you're barely hitting 70% of your chains, he's probably not going to be better suited for you compared to some of our other picks. Artemis, I actually think, is a great pick. She has really good team fight. because of boar, so it's very hard to dive her. I have noticed, I feel like her boar goes around slower, and it's a lot easier to evade her boar now. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but I feel like it's just a lot easier to not get hit by it. It doesn't charge as fast. Secondly, besides that, she can flex jungle, mid, and carry. I don't think the average person is going to do as well for her in the jungle role, just because she doesn't have hard CC that you're looking for, or easily applied hard CC. And most of the times, if you're going jungle, you're going the aspect version. A lot of people go the aspect version. It has a lot better clear than base Artemis. But I think overall, she's a great pick. I would not be mad if I have Artemis on my team. Now coming up is Athena. Athena, I think I'll put her in great pick just because she has that global rotation ability, global presence at all times. You're getting ganked, she can come to you. If you're trying to get a gank off, she can come to you. Athena jungle is really strong, especially with the book Hydras, you know, the one-shot build where you just taunt somebody and they're dead. Dash taunt, they're dead. So, and especially in support, I think she's really good too, just for setting up for a lot of mages that are really strong right now, like Soul. Bari is actually pretty strong with her. It just helps her get her off her combo. Anybody that has high damage, especially in a AoE sense, and can hit all the targets from her taunt, is just going to be insane. Once again, Wilix is a great pick right now. She counters a lot of people. Anyone with a jump, she counters. And even then, she counters people that just don't want to be CC'd. She has a lot of CC in her kit. And I believe her ultimate actually did get, I believe it's a 90-second ultimate, not a 70-second ultimate anymore. But even though she has great mobility around the jungle, good CC, great damage, nothing really else to be said. I think Bacchus is average. You can play Bacchus. I just don't see him as being one of the best. Like he's good right now. He's not doing insane amount of damage. I think there's other characters you can go if you really want a damage support, but I don't think he's bad. And he has the anti-heal factor. That's also really nice when you're going against someone that just has healing in general. Baron Samedi. Oh, I hate to do it because I like the character so much, but he's really bad right now. He just doesn't do enough for you. Actually, they did just buff his hysteria, so this is subject to change. It's been about a day and a half over the patch, so I wouldn't say it's a bad, terrible pick, but I wouldn't want it on my team if I can avoid it, just because the utility that he's bringing, other supports just bring it more. Blona, really good for lane pressure. She did just get nerfed, I believe, a little bit off the top of her bludgeon, but overall she still has this insane lane dominance, and then it also carries over very well in the late game because a lot of carries are really good. The carry builds are actually good. People are saying Pen is like lackluster. You can most definitely still burn down a tank if you have a carry. Kraken, I don't. He's like in between. If I had like a above average pick, I would probably put him there. But I'm putting him down here because I'm not just sold on it yet. I haven't seen a lot of Kabrakens do really good in solo lane because they just get a lot of pressure early. Just because of how much damage he has on his kit. He has 2 abilities level 1, so your level 1 is pretty strong. Your late game is pretty strong with the walls. And really that's the main part that you're playing around, especially with his Erendite and Stampede and how it just functions with his 1. You're able to chase someone down. And no one can really escape from you. So I think that will maybe warrants him being a great. I'm putting him in a great pick then. I'm putting him in a great pick. I gave him too many pros not to. I just don't like CERN right now. You just want CC immunity, and that's always been one of his main concerns. Like if ADC's builds are really good, then he's really good usually. But if ADC builds are just, okay, not hyper busted like they were earlier on, then he's just not as good. Because he really just rides and dies with, can he do enough damage so that his CC immunity his lack of CC immunity doesn't really affect him too much, and I don't think that's true right now. I'm seeing a lot more chalk. I've been seeing a lot more chalk recently in solo. I think he's just really good for just not dying and just late game implications of his ult. Really nice to have. Cupid, I want to put Cupid up there, but the only reason I'm not putting Cupid in top pick, top ban. I don't think he's a ban. I don't think you ban Cupid, but I do think he's like maybe a tier above everyone else in this rank, in this tier list. And it's just, I think he's the best ADC right now. His ultimate is insane. His CC on his heart bomb is insane. He has a dash and he has healing in his kit base. So, and even if you go in, he's also, I've been seeing him a lot in solo lane. I don't know why he has pressure against some picks, but if you're on someone that has just, if you're just someone that can match his pressure, he loses really hard. The only way he has pressure is if he can out sustain you because you're not doing enough damage to him. But besides that, I think Cupid, you know, his traditional rules, carry mid, more traditional carry, are just really good because his teamfight ultimate is just so oppressive and can literally change the course of a fight if you get a really good one. Dons, I haven't seen a lot more Dons. I'm not a Dons believer though. I think his best role is actually in mid, where he can use the rocket for heavy rotations, either going left or right, or just for jungle skirmishes. I think Don's jungle is also pretty good, but besides that, he's a regular ADC. Not really a good escape on him, and I think he's just, other people can do it better, like Artemis and Cupid. Fenrir, where am I gonna put Fenrir? Do I want to put him in great pick? I think he is a great pick right now. Yeah, I think Fenrir is a great pick right now. Mainly just for the fact that his brutalize, I think you can either go ADC Fenrir, where you're all about your auto attacks, and I think that's very good because of the procs on his in hand or on his 3. And then also his ability build will burst if you go Oathsworn Spear, you can literally do 1,000 damage on your brutalize literally as soon as level 10 comes around. If you go up Oathsworn Spear, second item, you literally start doing 1,000 damage with your brutalize. It's insane. Geb, I haven't seen too many Gebs. I don't think he's a bad support. I just wouldn't put him up in great right now. Actually, I'm seeing Athena. I don't think Athena's right. I think Athena's average. I think a little bit overreaction to put Athena in great. I do think Geb is probably a better. I'd rather have a Geb support than Athena support. But I think he's really good at anti-dive, good ultimate, and overall just a good pick. I wouldn't complain about having a Geb on my team. Quite the opposite, actually. I think Hades is good only in solo lane with the full. I think full damage is the way to go in Hades. Don't go tank. You're just looking to hopefully one-shot someone with your old late game. That's pretty much it. And if that's your whole gameplay as a character, I don't think that's a good game plan. Akate, she's not really busting anyone's back right now, but she's decent, really good ultimate, good poke, really all around good character. Hercules, I still think is a great pick. I don't think he's a top ban anymore. I think you can play around him, even though like I'm very surprised because his nerfs were very light. It was like 20 damage off his whole entire kit, or 30 damage off his whole entire kit. And you just see the amount of Hercules played go down, and it's just not as high anymore, surprisingly. I think he's still a really great pick, though. One of the top picks that you want to go for, but I wouldn't say he's a mandatory pick. While Mulan, I think she is... I made a video, and I said she was a very underrated jungler, but I don't think most people are playing her in jungle, so I think she's situational. I think she's good in jungle, just because of how much damage she does, but she's not a soul laner right now. If you try to play her in soul lane, you're going to get out pressured. If you can manage to hit level 5 really fast and get your spears upgraded and you're 1, then yeah, she can be really good. But besides that, if you just can't, she's just not as good. But I'll say if you're playing her in jungle, I think that gives her the opportunity to actually be really good. So actually, I'm gonna put her on average. I'm putting her on average, just because I think you're not supposed to play her in solo. You can't. But if you play her in jungle, you can. So maybe I should put her in situational. I don't know. I'm gonna put her in situational. Oops. I didn't know. Oh, if you click on someone, you can go to their build. That's crazy. Bots, great pick right now. Stun, ultimate, CC, aspect, non-aspect is all good. It's just all good. I think Izza's actually the best ADC. I just think people don't realize how good she is, just because most people just don't feel her impact. But late game, like pretty much this is how her curve goes. Um, level level 1 and 2 and 3, she's the best ADC for you. Not for fighting, just for farming, right? Because her fight is actually pretty terrible. If you have to clear you have to focus on nothing else but clearing the whole wave, and then you can fight. But even then, you still don't want to fight on Izza because she's just lacking team fight early. But late game, she shreds you like a popsicle. Honestly, I don't know why people say Jingwei is bad. Now I haven't played her. I don't really play Jingwei. I'm not a carry player. But I think just a carry that has a free getaway, a knock up, and a 2 that hits an AoE and crits, I just don't see how that can be bad. I just don't. I would rather have a Jingwei over a CERN any day. Khepri, he's your average support. He has a ultimate that saves you, and he has the duct. Always go aspect. Cuckoo, I think Cuckoo's average. I think you can play Cuckoo without just getting demolished. You just kind of sit in your tower and just chill out pretty much. Same thing with Loki. He's average. He does what a jungler's supposed to do. You can get into the back line. I just think his damage is a little lackluster right now, especially if they have really good support playing with them. If they have a Geb, you're not killing through Geb shield with a full ability kit rotation. So it takes a little bit longer to kill your target. Medusa, I think she's average right now. I don't think she's anything amazing, but I don't think she's bad. Probably her best thing is that she has pressure in dual lane. Merlin, I haven't seen too many Merlins. I don't think he's done anything crazy from like the 5 games I've seen of him. Now this could be subject to change, one higher or average. I think he's somewhere in between there. I just don't see him being insane. I just don't see it. He's good, but he's not something crazy. Now, maybe the aspect version is actually crazy. I think everyone I've seen hasn't run the aspect version. Oh, well, yeah, because it's not out. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that it comes out in like 1 or 2 days or 3 days or next week. Oh, it's just something like that. Mordred is really good in the soul lane. He has a lot of pressure ever since, especially if you're going aspect Mordred. He just has so much cooldown. His ultimate, he's almost ungankable. Almost. He's not quite Sun Wukong level of ungankable because you can't block his ult. And if you block his ult, he doesn't really have a get out. But his ult will do like 25% of your HP early game. So, Neith, great pick. Her ultimate is insane for rotations. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Not you. Your ultimate will rotate for you. And any jungler loves to have a Neith beside them, so they can take jungle 1v1s a lot more aggressively. Nemesis, I think, is dog poo-poo. He just doesn't do it. Her aspect version sucks because you can just anti-heal it. If you couldn't anti-heal her aspect version, I think she could be better. But and her base kit is just okay at best, below average at worst, because CC just kind of messes with her shield. And look at the top picks. Aladdin, CC on his 3. Achilles, CC on his 1. Artemis, CC on her 1 if she's non-aspect, and on her ultimate. Afro, Kiss, a Willix on demand leap over you. Bellona, no CC. Kraken, all CC. Cupid, CC, but it's a little bit more predictable. But his most of his damage is on his big CC abilities, right? Fenrir, CC. Hercules, CC. Humbot, CC. Is a no CC, really, except for silence. Mordred, not really CC unless he ults you. And then Neith, no real CC that breaks your thing. I think that's, you have to get stunned out of it or hard CC'd. I don't know, actually, maybe, because I know they made rooting hard CC, so I don't know if it actually, I don't know how they did that, how they coded it. But it's just so much CC right now that she's just not as good, and her damage is really low, like terribly low for some reason. I don't know why they did that to her, because it feels like you can't really go ability them, and you're kind of forced into going that auto attacking them because ability limit just isn't as good. New Wah. I think she's below average. I wouldn't really want her on my team. I think her ultimate's on a 120-second cooldown, I believe. Yeah, that just took her safety to a nosedive compared to Smite 1 where it's at 90 seconds. And you're pretty much, your safety is really good as long as you're, even if you're halfway down your lane, your safety is so good because you Aegis, you walk away, get in the speed buff area of your 1, and then you ult away. right? She has so much safety. She has a stun, but right now her ultimate's on a long cooldown. Her damage isn't that crazy because it all happens in one burst. She has to use all her abilities really to do damage to you. It's just she's just not. I would want every other mage over her pretty much. Ooh, dark days for Odin. He just doesn't do enough damage. I think the main problem is he has split scaling, and they're trying to balance him for split scaling, but you have to balance split scaling as if you're only because most people are only building one or the other. And I think that's the point of split strain, that it's supposed to be strong if you're going hybrid into both. So unfortunately, he's just not really good right now. Or maybe fortunately, I don't really care for Odin being strong. That dude's annoying. My main Pele, I think she's easily a great pick. She does everything you want as a jungler, easily killing the backline, mobility on her 3 and her 2 now, and then also her ultimate. So, can't really complain. And she has great rotationals with her 3 just being a speed and not a dash. So it's more, she has more safety instead of someone, like if the Hunbox jumps around in the jungle and the enemy Thanos finds him, then, you know, he's kind of in trouble. He can't really run away. And he can fight, right? He has ultimate still, but it's going to be a lot harder to get away if you're low or something. While Pele, her 3 is just always constantly active. Pos. I think Pos is average. He's not a bad mage. Really good ult for get off of me's. And a lot of people aren't building Aegis right now for some reason. I think Aegis is way better than people think it is. Or, yeah, way better than people think it is. I don't know why people don't go it more. And I think they should. Bari, actually, I don't think she's ban worthy. I really don't. I think Bari late game can be annoying. But she is the most gankable carry in the game. Think about it. Think about it. Artemis, she's going to stun you and she's going to trap you up and she's going to run and she has a slow. Cupid, he's going to throw Fields of Love, he's going to bees, and he's going to dash out. Izza, she's going to dash out. And she's kind of gankable if you don't have to use your dash to get to her in the first place. Neith is more of a mid laner. She can be played in carry, but she just has movement. And a slow and a root. And another root on her passive. And stun on her ultimate. Like she has a lot of CC right now. That's crazy. On her, same thing, can jump over walls, has CC immunity, base kit, has a impel, has a slow. Danza, not really safe, honestly. Jingwei, it's Jingwei. But Bari, she doesn't have movement. She has her little ooh juke. That's it. Ooh juke. That's all she has. And sometimes she's using that for wave clear or to just be aggressive. She's the easiest to kill mage. Like, yeah, she has immortality on her ultimate. Okay. If she's not getting a Kepri res, she's resing at whatever HP it was that you killed her at. So it's like, it's a non-factor. It really is a non-factor, I think, for ganking. Unless she's like under tower. Obviously, tower diving her is a lot riskier because of that. She gets a 1.5 immunity. She can move around and like, right, you don't want to tower dive her. But if she's out of lane, I think she's the easiest guy to kill. I've not seen Bari's, and I think that's mainly because people are banning her, but also because she's just not that good of a pick. If you're a carry, you know, I just don't know why you want to Bari over someone else. I know she's not bad. She has her times that she shines, just like Honor has the times that he shines. Jinwei has the times she shines. Medusa has the times she shines. Maybe not Medusa as much, but actually, I'm gonna drop Medusa down. I think she just doesn't shine as much as other characters in the list in that tier. Princess Bari just because I'd rather have Princess Bari over Medusa. But I just don't. I think people are overreacting to how good she was. She feels oppressive if the damage is getting off. But that's it. She only feels oppressive if the damage. She can't get damage off if you just gank her very early because she's very vulnerable early. It's like a Vulcan. You should probably be ganking Vulcan early before he gets online, and is a problem. Raw, he's good. Mid lane, hills, 2 solo, aspect, non-aspect, either one. Both are really good. Rama, I think he's another one of the top ADCs. I think these are my top 3 ADCs up here. Is these on the same level? I think in terms of like win rate and just how much damage Izzy does late game, I can't put her with the other people, man. Man, I'm changing a lot, but I think I'd rather change it than not feel right about it. I think these are top 3 ADCs. I don't think any of them are ban worthy. Honestly, I don't think who's ban worthy. Oh yeah, I know who's ban worthy. I know who's ban worthy. I see her. Anyways, just really solid ultimate for safety, high damage on it too. Aspect Virgin is good. I wouldn't play Aspect Virgin just because I think it feels terrible in general. But non-aspect Virgin, Rama that you know and love, good dash on a fairly short cooldown. I think he has one of the shortest cooldowns on a dash, which is kind of crazy. Has like I know in Smite it had like a 9-second cooldown. I know they increased dash cooldown timers in Smite 2, like by 1 or 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So it's probably at like 12 or 11 now. The Beck, I think he's your top pick as a support. I think he generally is just top pick. He does everything you want a support does. He has high damage. He has execute now. He has a pull. He has a pluck. He has a dock up. He has so much in his kit. Yet it's so basic. But hey, it don't gotta be fancy to kill. Once again, we're this last end of the lift is strong. Soul once again, just really good. She's so safe. If you build Aegis on Soul, you literally have 3 seconds of immunity that you can't be touched, pretty much. You have a ult, or right, 3 seconds of combination with her 3. I think both of them give 1.5. No, is there a 3-second? Yeah, actually, it might be just a 3-second invulnerability or 2-second invulnerability. You have a long invulnerability window. So if you're hyper overextended, and I think you should only be playing her in mid lane. I think dual lane she's more gankable. But even then, as long as you're playing in the 50% of the lane, you're probably honestly good in duo too. Because you just have get off of me damage. Your 2 is bursting so hard if you're in Soul. Your 3 is bursting now, which I hate that change so much. I don't see why you should be punished for being on top of a Soul. That should be the good range, because she's so undiveable because of that. And then she damages you. Her ultimate has a knock up on it, which is insane with how much damage it also does, because they gave her second hit of her ult even more damage. It's just she is the top mage. I don't think you should be playing anyone else mid except for her and Neath. Maybe a Vulcan here and there. Susano has not been performing good. I think these new changes to him to where he can actually dash and not dash all the way past you is going to make him really good. Once people get used to canceling it, because it's going to be a little bit of a change and switch up of mentality. I've been calling for this since the start of Smite 2, because it felt off compared to Smite 1, because I would notice I'm dashing past them so much more often, and it's a lot harder for me to close that distance. But I think he's going to be good. I think before I would put him below average, but I think just because that one change is going to be so electric, and changing just how easily it is for Susano to stick to you. Thanatos, I think he's one of the top junglers. I think you should be playing him, and Erendite really is so good with him just because of how it interacts with his 2 or 1. I think Morgan is average. If you know how to play her, you should play her. If you don't, I wouldn't play her. Thor, I think he's the top pick for junglers. He is so easy to play. It's not even funny. He's so easy to play. I don't know, like his ultimate got buffed to where it's like even shorter reveal time, but if you're gonna land, he has beads Aegis ult, and what I mean by that is you need to beads and Aegis, but you can't beads and Aegis unless you have purification beads on the talisman of purification. He has great poke. He has good mobility. I think you really have to like look at it and just be like, wow, Thor is busted. I think even before he was still really good, but now he's even better. I want to say Ullr's top pick, top ban. No, I think for most people he's just average. I think if you really know how to pilot him, he goes to great, maybe even a top ban. but I think he is very diveable just because he only has a jump, no CC immunity, and he has a stun and jump for defense. His 2 is actually highly underrated. I think people don't understand just how good movement speed is, especially for like 6 seconds or 5 seconds, however long he gets it. It's insane. They even had to nerf it because it's so insane. Vulcan, I think, is average. He has good safety, honestly, with the procs that he can get from his turret. He has an ult that you can just ult on top of yourself, is guaranteed to hit. You have a knock up. You have movement speed from your passive. You have a 1 that backfires you that gives you some displacement and can't be crippled. All around good. I think Emoji is a great pick. I think even if you're not a good emoji player, you can play. I never got that sentiment. She's not the hardest character. Well, she's one of the harder characters to play in Smite, but that's just, can you position correctly? And right now, her 1 does so much damage. I'm pretty sure it does more damage than it did in Smite 1. It's just if you can hit it, a lot of people struggle to hit it for some reason, but if you can hit it, she does. She's just baseline so good that I would put her in top pick, top ban, but most people just don't play her and don't really understand that you can literally just go over to someone and just press 1 1 1 1 1 1. Go breastplate, go Chronos pendant, and if you take half of your HP, half of your Omi is back. Like, it's insane. Ymir, I think he's also a top pick for supports. I think he's probably after Sobek, I would say. Maybe Emoji 2. I think Achilles also a really good support. But it's not as much CC as Ymir. But Ymir, really good for CCing the enemy, really good lockdown with the wall. The ultimate is probably the weakest part of his kit. And the 2 is really good for damage. It's not as good as it used to be. I don't know. I think it's mainly because it takes a lot longer to auto attack cancel, because before you with Ymir, you used to hit the ground, auto attack cancel a lot faster. So you got your damage off a lot faster. But now you gotta charge up tung, you know. So that's the only real change. But Ymir, pretty good. Yeah, he even has a rocket jump. I find that to be very not much useful. It's a nice change, but it's not like game changing. And then finally, Zeus, I think, is average. Very easily dove, but he does a lot of damage. You know, the typical Zeus stuff. Anything I would change from this list? No, I don't think there is. I think this list is pretty much as good as it's going to get. Fairly accurate, I believe, for most players, right? I don't think I would put any of these characters in the game. Definitely not Odin. Oh my gosh. So bad. Mulan Jungle I would though. To preference. Morgan. Yeah. Yeah. I so agree with this Princess Bari pick. Merlin, I'm not, he could go up or down. He's one of those. Yeah. Yeah. I might even put Hades in a situational. I think the fact that you only can go full damage, and still if you just get shut down, your game's over. Bacchus, Achilles, Athena. Yeah, no, that sounds good.